Hello there, and welcome to my first proper video. VOD for my first stream, not included. As for every video I've watched about starting VTubing slash PNGtubing, I have decided to fully ignore the advice of not needing to debut. Well, sorta. Since in comparison to the usual standard of a debut, if I've kind of understood it right, is that most tend to do it as a dedicated stream where that is the only focus of the stream. Maybe the VTuber will show off some of their talents and stuff, that kind of a deal if you've been around the block. But for this, instead, I'm making it as a video and it's just going to be me doing an introduction. I've always thought about doing an intro as my first video on my YouTube channel, even before I decided to do VTubing slash PNGtubing instead of being a FleshTuber. So the whole debuting concept, when I learned about it, really suited my needs. And after watching a few from Corpo VTubers or indie VTubers as well, I've come up with this little slideshow to introduce myself and what you can expect to see around here. So thank you so much for stopping by, and let's get into the video proper. So starting off with the basics, my name is Herhoderish, or Roderish. I'm fully open to nicknames such as Herod, Rod, Roddy, or just my user Roddies. You can feel free to maybe come up with other nicknames based on my name. Just don't be rude about it or anything. No rude nicknames, please. But other than that, if it's like a silly little joke or something that I do, then whatever. That's on me. I'm open to that. My age. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably old. I'm old enough to be here. I'm older than enough to be here. um, the lore shenanigans, It just kind of happens. What I do remember is my birthday, and that is the 3rd of March. So we will see. I don't know if I'll do anything special for that, but maybe I'll plan something, a little birthday stream or something. I don't know what I do, but yeah. And then lastly, for this slide, languages. My first language is English. My second is French, and that is the one I am the most comfortable with as well. I mean, not between English and French. English I'm obviously more comfortable with, clearly. But in terms of if I was to speak one of the other languages I kind of know, I'd be like, yeah, I can speak French. Give me some French to do. I will be able to understand you, kind of. I'm like rusty nowadays. I learned it ever since I was a kid, growing up in the Maple Country, aka Canada. I was put into it at a very young age in school, but nowadays it's kind of petered off. But I still try to use it, and I've been getting into some French streamers, so it's coming back, but still very rusty. But all that to say, maybe there will be some French content in the future? Maybe some fun redeems on stream to make me speak in French for a little bit? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe. We'll see. And lastly, for languages that I felt to say, would be German, which is the third language I ever tried to learn, not including Russian, because I did. In the time that I started learning German, I also tried to learn Russian at the same time, and that's when I realized that maybe I shouldn't try and start two languages at the same time. I can, I can like work on French and work on a third language, but I can't do two new languages at the one time. And I learned that lesson when I started German and Russian. But ever since I started German, I have kept up with it for a long while, and it's only in the past year that I kind of decided to start taking breaks, only coming back to it every now and then to like kind of fix up my skills, but it's nowhere near where I was probably to like before last year. Um But besides for that, as you might realize, I have a big passion to learn languages. In fact, I want to learn as many as I can in my lifetime, even if it's just like conversational, something that I can use to speak to other people, at least for a little conversation, is what I want to aim for. And if I stick to streaming and stick to videos, then it'll probably become a thing of where it's like, oh, what language is Rod learning this half of the year now? Currently, I have been working on Korean because I recently got back into K-pop, and subtitles aren't the best all the time. In fact, I would say most of the time they still kind of suck. So I would like to be able to understand what my idols are saying. So I started learning a bit of Korean. It's a slow process. I can actually kind of read Hangul now, like their writing system, but I don't know what I'm reading. Other than that, the other language that I feel would be cool to bring up would be Spanish and a bit of Portuguese. Those two languages I started learning a bit. I got further ahead in Spanish, and I feel like, again, it is something close to where I am with German, but not as close. But I have been able to read things just like looking at something and reading something in Spanish, and I've understood what it said. But I again haven't practiced in a while, so it's pretty rusty nowadays. And the same thing with Portuguese, specifically Brazilian Portuguese. Um, I met a lot of Brazilians when I was into a certain Minecraft server, QSMP. Uh, that's why I got back into learning French as well. Shout out to the QSMP. But yeah, nowadays it is kind of petering off, kind of getting really extra rusty. But hopefully I'll get back to those, and one of these days maybe I'll be able to have conversations in those languages as well. So yeah, next slide. All right, and with the basics out of the way, now we can move on to some lore stuff, such as one of the big questions, what am I? And to that, I actually don't have a good answer for you. I'm still trying to figure it out myself, and you'll understand when I move to the next slide and kind of give you my little story spiel. In essence, I would say that I'm some kind of vampire or immortal being with vampire tendencies. Although I don't know how much you gotta be like doing vampire stuff to be like, I'm a vampire and not just an immortal being, which I also don't know if I'm immortal. I said I was like old because I assume I'm old. Um, I don't know. I swear I'll clear it up when I tell my little spiel of my story. Other than that, I also can manipulate blood or like do blood magic. I've kind of noticed some things. And then I have this weird shadow stuff on the go. Um, I don't know anything about that. Complete to be completely honest. Um, Again, I'm still trying to figure all those things out, but maybe I will have a better explanation, or at least a better point to this when I explain the kind of story to where I am right now in my understanding of things. So, yeah, let's get on to that. And now we get to the big idea of what my story is, aka lore, which is also something that all the videos I watched about VTubing and PNGtubing told me not to worry about. But guess what? I also ignored that advice. I mean, why wouldn't I? There's so much that has happened to me and so much that I don't know. So, to kind of give you an idea of what I've been working with in the past little bit that I've kind of been conscious, um, I wanted to give this description of my situation. So here we go. Um, I don't remember much, if anything, of what occurred before I woke up on the cold tiled floor of this hospital that I found myself in. There were shadows swirling in my vision before I pushed myself up off the floor, and they immediately receded away. I stayed in that room for a while, especially because my nerves almost froze me in place. But I eventually got moving, first making a note that the room I'd woken up in was a morgue, um, before I carefully checked around the rest of the place. Even now, I still get really stressed being here, and I swear I've seen some things in the shadow, but they haven't come to attack me yet, so maybe they're not that bad. Maybe they're looking out for me. I really don't know, and I don't want to let my guard down too much. But other than that, I've grown aware of my vampiric urges and my manipulation of blood, as I mentioned in the previous kind of slide. Besides for that, I found this pretty nice PC setup in an old office, which I don't want to think too hard about because that means that someone definitely put that here recently, because this hospital is very old from what I can understand. It doesn't look like anyone's been here for years, decades even. Um, but I can't really figure out why someone put that here, who would put that here. There's not really anyone around besides for me in the shadows. And all in all I can be is just thankful that it is here because it's been my only source of entertainment in the days that I've been awake so far. And now I get to use it to stream. So I don't know, a win's a win, but it doesn't make me any more kind of comfortable. And I just kind of wonder what the idea to even have it here, to have me here is. But I guess maybe in the coming time, as I continue on this journey, maybe I'll learn something new. Maybe I'll remember what I don't remember, because the past is all but a shadow to me now, and I don't know what the future will bring either. But yeah, um, that's kind of the gist of what I'm working with. I said I don't know much. I don't remember much. I don't know what brought me here, why I'm here, what the significance of even being here is, but I'm here. And I'm just gonna take it in stride and try not to worry myself too much, even though I swear I'm shaking like crazy because I don't know what's around the next corner. What's maybe hiding in the shadows? Maybe the shadows are what's hiding. But yeah, I don't want to dwell on it too much. So I'm just gonna kind of move on to the next slide. Hooray! So we are getting close to the end of this little slideshow. So if you made it this far, thank you for sticking around. There's just two more slides, which is this one and another one, and the other one will be shorter because it's just to do with where you can find me elsewhere off of YouTube. But anyways, getting back to this one. So this slide is obviously what kind of content you can expect from me. So the main thing is gaming content. Um, the games you will see me probably play the most will be Dead by Daylight, The Sims, Don't Starve, and Don't Starve Together. Love that game so much. Wuthering Waves, which I've already played on stream once for my first stream, and I plan to do it for a second stream, but I canceled the stream because I decided to work on this video instead, and I'm not feeling the best today, so it made more sense to work on a video instead of trying to get on a live stream. And then lastly will be Baldur's Gate 3, but this one is question marked because I don't know if I will actually play this on stream. If I do, then I would start a different playthrough than the ones I've already got lined up at the moment. Um, and again, I don't know because I think Baldur's Gate is one of those games to me that I want to play on my own terms, and I just want to play by myself or with friends, but off screen, of course. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Other than that, another bit of content will be art and co-working, and these go hand in hand because, at least for the time being, which this kind of will be off lore because I have to talk about IRL stuff. Um, so this stuff goes hand in hand because I'm working on making art for a convention I'll be tabling at in some months' time. So I need to make stuff for people to check out and potentially buy from, ranging from art of my own characters to fandom related works, since this is a nerd slash geek convention. Very fun times. And then on the more kind of co working side, although like the art stuff will be under co working because those streams will be kind of set up the same way, you know? But in terms of co-working, one of the biggest things will be me working on the wiki that I specialize for. I don't know if I made it kind of like hint hint wink wink nudge nudge when I mentioned I was working on a project that allowed me to work on my French, but that is of course the QSMP wiki. I specialize for them for only French, only the Frenchmen of the server, including like Purgatory 2, like all of the French guys that were involved in Purgatory 2, I also specialize for. So that'll be what I would work on for just like straight up co-working and not art stuff if I do. Um, but yeah, and the reason for this like co-working kind of thing, because I've always wanted to do like video games on stream and in videos ever since I was young. I wanted to make my own playthroughs. The whole co-working side only came up in recent years because it really helped me out during my university experience. I kind of struggled with being able to sit down and work on homework, but when I found out that people made co-working videos, it really helped me. Having kind of like a body double is what it's called, but just like having that, having someone else that was, you know, working on their work side by side with me, you know, through a video, it really helped me. And just the format of like the Pomodoro method, if you know what that is, it's just like a certain amount of time you work on something and then you get a little break every so often. That really helped me, and I want to give back to that community by making my own videos for it. So, co-working streams will be set up with the Pomodoro method. I don't know how much I'll speak for those streams, of course. Those will be more relaxed and less speaking than I will try, of course, on my gaming videos. But yeah, I hope someone out there can maybe just be helped in the same way that I was when I came across co-working streams. So yeah. And lastly, coming back to the art stuff, I really enjoy the event Art Fight. If you never heard of it, it's an annual thing that happens over the summer in which a bunch of artists go to the site Art Fight and we get to draw someone's character and then you submit it. It's called an attack. And then someone can either attack you back or they can pay it forward and attack someone else on your team. Although, of course, it is also open to attacking people on the same team as you. I have participated in this event 2 years in a row. It's really fun for me. So, when the time comes around for that, I would really love to work on that stuff on stream and maybe make some videos to be like, hey, this is what Art Fight is. Because I really enjoyed that content last year. So hopefully I can inspire someone else to join in the fight as well. And with that, we will move on to the last slide. Yippee! All right. And with all of that done, I just wanted to conclude this with where else you can find me, you can also find the direct links to these socials on my channel, but currently not in the description. Hopefully, I will be able to make an update at some point to where it will actually allow me to have links, but I can't put links in my descriptions at the moment. Didn't know that was a thing on YouTube. Hopefully, it won't be for too much longer. But yeah, so you can find me on both Twitter and Blue Sky under the same user, which is Roddy's TV. And basically, those two socials, I don't post a lot. I just kind of post like little things if it's like game related or something. Again, don't post a lot, but the main point of those socials is to be like, hey, I'm considering going live on this day after this time. And then once the day hits, I'm like, all right, guys, I will be streaming today, and I will be streaming right now. Like, I hit go live, please come check me out, or I will let you guys know if I'm not going live that day. And then, of course, the main thing, the main channel in all of this is my Twitch channel, which is the same user as here, and it's just Roddy's. And lastly, before the video ends, woo, we made it. I just wanted to give a very big thanks for checking out this video. It means a lot, and I can't wait to see where things go from here. I'm not sure on a specific schedule for streaming, as I mentioned. Whenever I feel like I can stream on a day, I usually say the day before, and then I confirm it on the day. But roughly, you'll probably see me stream between Monday and Thursday, as that's when I have availability. So it just kind of depends on what I'm feeling on a given day. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for staying till the end. Much love. Hopefully, I'll have another video eventually. Don't know when. I do have one in the works. After that, we will see what it goes, what happens from there, and hopefully, I'll be streaming again. I can't tell you when this video is going up, so I also can't tell you when I might stream next. But yeah, on Monday to Thursday, I will stream at some point. Anyways, much love. Thank you guys. Bye!